I was wrong. And I just can't live without you.
Oh, Schepps.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
There you go.
Let's get this show going, man. Hurry up, hurry up! Hurry up! Hurry up! Hurry up! Come on now. We're going to have action soon. Right here. It ain't going nowhere. Boy, your ass got some technique, boy. You ain't show me that this summer. Hey, wild cat.
Ball at the 5, third down and 2.
That was bad. Let's go have some fun, bro. We ain't got to talk about too much. He wasn't playing the ball. It's holding. Cliff. It's a cliff. How is that not called? That ain't gonna call a damn thing.
What is the delay for? He's standing right there.
He's taking a card out. He's a piece of paper.
It's that close? Dear Lord.
Hello and welcome. We're the Aussie guys. I'm AJ. Here with me is G. How are you, G?
Very well, mate. Can't complain. Beautiful day outside. Went for a ride this morning.
Me too.
You went for a ride?
I did.
You are. You're on your diet. You've been on your shakes. We've had no drinks of the pod because of you and drinking whatever that thing is over you've got there, like processed urine.
That's not too good, what I'm having there. But I'm drinking lots of water and I'm not drinking...
I haven't seen you for 2 weeks. We haven't done a pod for 2 weeks. And very noticeable.
Thank you. I've lost 20 kilos.
20?
Yeah. I don't know what that is in pounds.
Mate, if I lost 20 kilos, there'd be nothing left of me.
I know, but you don't need to lose 20 kilos. I need to lose a lot more. Well, some more.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mate, if you can admit to yourself you need to lose a lot, mate,
I'm just
own it.
Yeah. Going for it. Absolutely. So that's been good.
45 pounds. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Who's that?
I don't know. Was it Alexa?
I don't know. Maybe we meant to.
Alexa, what's 20 kilos in pounds?
45 pounds.
There you go. It worked.
Who the hell's Alexa?
Don't you know?
No, let's introduce
We've got
people.
Google.
Let's introduce
So
people
anyway, it
first.
doesn't matter. Let's not go down that track. Listen, on the line we have, and you've heard him already, we've got Johnny Schepps. How you doing, Schepps?
I am doing great.
I should say, from the new podcast, I'll let you launch it.
Shafted us pretty quick.
Try
we saw
Focus.
that coming though, didn't we?
Now, let me make sure I get the title right. Try Focus Football?
Trifocal.
Trifocal, I'm sorry.
Bifocal. Like it's not even a real word. Bifocal, 2 focuses, trifocal, 3 focuses. So I wanted to be able to kind of branch out. It's the Trifocal Football Podcast. I'm on Podbean right now. I'm trying to get on iTunes. I only got 4 episodes so far. I just released one tonight. Randy was actually on the last episode. And basically, I'm just going to be talking about, on the War Zone, I just talked about fantasy football, but I wanted to be able to talk about football in general, talk about the NFL draft in general, and talk about fantasy football as well. So it's the 3 different focuses there, and I'm hoping to have a lot of guests on. I'm hoping to have the Aussie guys on. I don't know. I'm just hoping it's going to be fun.
Awesome.
Speaking of someone he's had on.
Yes. Good segue. Nicely done.
I had to wait for Schepps' 3-minute monologue about himself until I could pop it in there.
Randy, Memphis Young from the Dynasty War Zone, friend of the Aussie guys.
Mate, he's Australian. Both of these guys are like almost
honorary.
naturalised. Oh, no, almost naturalised Australians.
Yes, absolutely. Memphis, how you doing?
I'm good, man. What's up with you guys?
What was that all about? What's the matter with you?
Memphis?
I'm near chilling, listening to you guys talk to Schepps about the trifocal. We were on the other night talking about some wide receivers and just having some fun.
Now
It's
listen,
a mellow yellow right now. Drinking
Just
some mellow
you-
yellow over there.
get up from your chair. We'll wait. Go to the
saying,
fridge.
I'm-
Crack a monster. Come back.
I'm out, man.
You're
I'm
right. He's a whole different person, isn't he, without it?
It's a tough world. You know, you got to have that caffeine.
Have they passed the reefer law in Indianapolis?
I don't know.
I think so.
Like Michael J. Fox drove a DeLorean, a Reflorian. I don't know.
These nuts.
These nuts. I'm just sitting here hanging out, you know, listening to you guys and ready to talk about a little football.
Cool.
It's got a bit of the Matthew McConaughey, you know. What's that? Hello. No, what's he say? What's it?
All right.
That's it. Right. Got to be
Feel
like
like cooler if you did.
Oh, man.
I'd love to talk like that. Oh, just when being a single guy.
It's a nice hook for the ladies.
Oh, damn.
I tell you,
Those days are gone.
this was about 10 years ago, but I went to a conference. It was in Philly, it was a teachers' conference, and there were teachers from all over the states.
Mate, we know what happens on those teachers'
I was
conferences.
talking to this lady. She was
That's like
from
the
the
office
south.
Christmas party.
And I couldn't understand almost a word she was saying, but man, the silky smooth accent was like, whoa. Like I don't know that the American accent is necessarily, to Australians, necessarily that attractive, but the southern accent is, whoo, man. That is incredible.
That northern accent's just not working. That Jersey.
And southern women, they really know how to take care of you. Like, they're, the cook, clean, they're nice.
Chef's going back to the 1950s. What's going on?
Well, but it's not a bad thing. Southern women, Southern hospitality, they pride themselves in really taking care of you. Up north, I mean, it's done for yourself.
Don't worry about it. Not a chance. Very much like those Australian women, obviously the ones from up north.
Oh, man. Yep, very much so.
How about round at your place, Randis? How's everything around there?
Oh, it's wonderful. I'm not married to a Southern woman. I'm married to a feisty woman. And but I used to work with this young lady. Her name was Mariah, and she was from Louisville, Kentucky. And, man, I would pay her just to read my emails if I could. Had this voice, and I was like, just read, this meeting and this thing. But her voice was... He's right, though. There's something about a Southern dialect.
And you know what? She'd read the email and sprinkle, 2 or 3 y'alls into every sentence.
Well, they add like 3 or 4 extra syllables everywhere. Did you pass the sugar? Like, okay.
Oh, yeah. And then
I noticed how when Brandon started talking about like women from other areas, he sort of...
Pepped up?
No, he sort of... Yeah, he pepped up, but he just dropped his voice a few decibels just in case there's, Never know who's in the next room listening.
That's true. I'll change the topic super fast. So, hey, listen, we're coming together for actually our season retrospective. Now, before the season, we convened and we made our predictions, and some of them are interesting, some of them are terrible.
Some of them not good.
But let's just... I'm going to hand over to you, G. You've actually... Very good, because I was going to listen back and take notes, so you've got it all there. Man, the man is organised. He's got little bits of paper, but he's organised.
Hey, see? My paper comes good sometimes.
Yeah.
Having all these sheets.
The internet, technology...
How many forests have I been through since we started doing pod?
Yeah, you're a stranger to technology, my friend, except for the internet. But, everything else...
on the internet,
things...
It just happens to pop up.
Yeah. Yeah, don't start www.p, then you're in trouble. Or X, or most letters of the alphabet.
N. You can type in anything. You type in Barbie these days and you're in trouble. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. So, listen, you convene, you lead off, and you can take us in whatever direction, because you've got it all in front of you there. So,
all right. So, before the season, obviously, we got the 2 gentlemen on the other end of the line, and we went through, our pre-season picks based on, rookies.
Yeah.
Offensive, defensive, who's going to be MVP, defensive player of the year, our divisional winners.
Yep.
Our wild cards. We won't go through all the wild cards and divisional winners.
No.
We'll concentrate more, and we'll start on this as who we picked. So we'll just go the NFC Championship game and title game and the AFC title game.
Are you going to put little points there?
How do you mean points?
Yeah, because I want to know who won.
Oh, you want me to do a point?
Yeah, go.
We play to win the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, point.
This is for draft picks in Too Legit, baby. Oh. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
And Schepps is still trying to flog the 104.
You could spend an episode trying to break down all of these trades in Too Legit. It deserves its own episode. We've had about 50 trades in less than 30 days, right?
I agree
yeah.
It was off the hook.
I've only made 2. I'm very happy with my 2. I've said no to a lot. I think people have
I've
said,
made a ton.
Computer says no. Pretty much what you get in the line now.
I'm trying to figure out this Justin Jackson, Dante Moncrief, and Anthony Hitchens deal. You traded a first-round pick for Kenny Clark. You traded...
No, it was a second.
2 seconds, right?
No, 1 second.
Oh, okay.
Hey, here we go.
It seemed like a lot. And Keanu Neal,
Who? I didn't. I didn't trade Keanu Neal. I trade for.
I traded
Neal. Keanu Neal. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So who got the better end of the deal?
It's not about who got the better end. It just, to me, it seems like he gave up a lot for those two players, and then he gave away for less than he got. He gave for them.
Who? Me?
You.
Yeah, but I've got Gordon, so I wanted Jackson.
Right, and you like Hitchens.
And I like Hitchens.
And mate, I'm stacked at linebacker.
Oh man, you're loaded. I want Van Der Esch. But we'll talk about this. We can talk about this in another episode.
Okay.
Too legit. I'm sorry for interrupting. I do that all the time. So go on. Let's start keeping score. Let's see who won.
Now, just hold on for a second. Randy, you there? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can
hear me.
No, it's just he was having a bit of trouble hearing us.
Internet difficulties.
No.
Okay, all right. Okay, G, go.
Okay, so let's look at who we put down. We'll start off with the AFC title game. So the AFC title game, Randers, you had New Orleans versus Minnesota.
In the AFC title game, are you sure?
Oh, sorry, that's who Randers picked.
Then he was definitely wrong.
That's the NFC.
Yes.
Sorry, I put him around the wrong. My bad. I put him around the wrong way. When I wrote him down.
Indeed.
Okay, sorry. NFC title game. Randers had New Orleans, Minnesota. Schepps had the Saints and the Rams. AJ had the Vikings and the Saints, and I had the Packers and the Saints.
Give Schepps half a point. He got one team out of two.
All right.
He had both.
He had both teams.
No, he didn't.
No.
He only had one.
So he had Saints Rams.
Oh, dang! I did.
You did.
That's good.
Jeez, one.
Heck yeah.
Had the Saints.
All
Everybody
right.
gets, but he gets both.
He gets 2 points for that. He got both teams. He gets 2
Give
points.
him two.
Two for Schepps.
Yep.
And the rest of us get one because we got one team.
Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah. One. Awesome. AFC.
So you want to just looking back now, Randers, you pick Minnesota. How'd you feel about that?
I mean, now good. No, I didn't have that much faith in the Rams, and I thought the offense in Minnesota, the defense was fine in Minnesota. The offense was just not good.
No,
they fired their defensive coordinator. I think it was week 12, John DeFilippo, and they started to run the ball more. I didn't really get it. You know, they think they end up finishing second in the division, but they had like a win in their end type scenario against Chicago, and Chicago had nothing to play for.
Yep.
And they got absolutely smoked in the last week of the season. So
this is a bit of the Kirk Cousins sort of what would you say the drama about him as a quarterback is he can't win when he needs to win. Really, yeah, like the big games when it counts, he just can't pull it out, and especially against, as you said, against Chicago, that they were playing for nothing basically. Well, they were playing for nothing.
Yep.
So I'm not even going to ask Schepps how he thought about his because we could be here for a while just to.
Move on.
Blowing the smoke. Okay, so we'll go to the AFC. So the AFC title game, as we know, was against the Chiefs and the Patriots. Randers had Pittsburgh and the Patriots.
1 point.
One for Randers. Well done. Good work. Schepps had the Jags and the Chargers. No good. No good. Close. No cigar. Yeah, Jags were so close. AJ had the Chargers and the Jags as well. You had the same. And I had, which is probably just as bad, I had the Steelers and the Jags.
So we all had the Jags, so don't bust my chops.
I shouldn't have done that until I read across and saw what we all had.
Mate, the Jags were so disappointing on the season, weren't they?
Man. What are they going to do?
How do you go with such a young roster? How do you go from the AFC Championship game to nada?
Well, because I think in the end, you have to look at it like defense wins championships, and it can. Yeah. But mate, if you don't have a quarterback that can throw the goddamn football well enough, everything balances out. You have to have a balance on both sides, and unfortunately, it was so lopsided.
Yeah,
the defense just can't be on the field that much. Can't be expected to be the ones actually scoring the points.
No, but I think
part of the offense's job.
This is coaching. This is lack of discipline in the locker room.
Quit. I think
Yes.
Exactly. I think Fournette. I think he's a quitter. He's got no guts. I think Ramsey. I like the player, but I think he quit.
Yep.
I think they're soft. I think they're a physical team that they bullied teams last year, and then this year things started to fall apart and they quit. They're soft mentally.
And that's when I reckon a head coach earns their money is, okay, fine, you take a team all the way through the Super Bowl, good on you. It's when you fall a step short and you've got to keep the cohesion and keep guys motivated when they come back, training camp, mini camps, and you've got to get them rolling and keep the discipline in that locker room. I reckon that's the mark of a head coach, isn't it?
Well, what's the hardest thing to do? If you push a car, just say your car, so what's the hardest thing to do? Is to start is the initial
Not keep it rolling.
Pushing the car. Once the car starts rolling, mate, it's all
Yeah.
what is it? Sugar and jam and everything's sweet.
Momentum.
But if someone starts tapping, imagine someone sitting in the car tapping the brakes while you're doing it.
Yeah.
Makes things a lot harder. And some people, once you start tapping the brakes, some people will keep pushing, and some people go, "Oh, screw this, I'm not doing that."
Yep.
And
They were the people that come into wealth unexpectedly. That's a team that's not used to success, and they got a taste of it and didn't know how to handle it. And we've, at least in the States, you see people who hit the lottery and don't know what to do with it, and they wind up going broke.
Yep.
Because they have no money management skills within like a couple of years. They're not used to it. And the Jacksonville Jaguars are not used to success, and that went to their heads. And everybody was out, being the man and being sassy and showing up to camp out of shape like Leonard Fournette.
I was so disappointed in Jalen Ramsey last year. So disappointed.
And I just don't think they were. We're going to talk about Cleveland as one of my bold predictions here in a bit, but I expect a very similar thing. That's a very young team, just like Jacksonville. Good defense, better quarterback play, obviously, in Cleveland. That's a young team with a new head coach who's never had any head coaching experience at any level that's feeling themselves. And you know what? If they get off to like a 1-2 or a 0-3 start, that could be a real wild ride in Cleveland. So not saying it's going to happen, but I can see how it can correlate. A team with a long track record of failure has a little success. And how do they handle that going into year 2?
Fair call.
So was the head coaching appointment the right one, Randers, then, or do you think they should have gone out and got someone who's maybe been in this boat before?
No, they at least should have brought in like some kind of a veteran head coach. Not Freddie Kitchens. I mean, we've all worked with or known someone who's been over promoted in life, and God bless him for getting the job. But to me, it's a lot. It seems like they're doing a lot to placate Baker.
Yep.
It's like, hey, what do you want for dinner? Like your kids, you're like, hey, kids, what do you want for dinner? And they're like,
he's getting
ice
RG3
cream.
treatment.
I want ice cream, yeah.
Yeah, and John, the GM's like, sure, buddy, let's go to Dairy Queen.
That did not work out well. This is RG3. That did not work out well.
It gives me pause. It just, like I said, I'm not as we'll talk about here in a minute, I'm not the best at forecasting the future, but it gives me pause.
Well, you're tied with me for first, buddy. So
Yeah. Keep it moving, G.
Okay. So the Super Bowl then, we had, well, I don't think we all suck.
I had Saints.
Yeah.
Saints.
Randers had Steelers, the Saints. Yeah, Schepps, you had the Saints and the Jags. AJ had the Chargers and the Saints. And I had the Saints and the Steelers. So we all had the Saints. And, mate, let's face it, except for probably the worst call I've ever seen.
Blatant.
Yeah.
We were all right. So, we could have been that close. We could have all had a point, but we all get nothing. So we just we move on, and let's move on to the Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Nice.
So there's
Bet we all got it right.
No, we didn't. So the Offensive Rookie of the Year this year was Saquon Barkley, who had 261 carries, 1,307 yards, 11 TDs, 91 receptions for 721 yards and 4 TDs. And before we go any further, Randy had DJ Moore. Schepps had Anthony Miller.
Wow.
AJ and I had Saquon Barkley. So, Schepps, let's talk about your guy first, because I think Randers has disappeared for a second.
No, he's back.
Oh, he's back. We'll talk about your guy, Schepps. Go.
You guys took the free space like in bingo. Come on.
Yeah. What the hell was I thinking?
But, mate, it's Randers. Before we get on to Schepps and his Anthony Miller call, mate, the job is to pick not the outside chance of winning. It's the,
what are you meant to do?
Yeah, if someone says, okay, you're at Vegas and you go, okay, red or black, and a guy goes, he goes black, and he gives you a wink, mate, you're not going to put it on red.
No, I'm with you, but most years it's like it doesn't seem so obvious. So I don't know. Just wanted to go out on a limb.
Randall's not happy because we just caught a point
that's
up.
What I did too. I don't know. I think there was a lot of hype around Anthony Miller in training camp. He looked phenomenal, and I think I was drinking the Kool-Aid. so I'll stick with my 2 points with my Rams Saints prediction, and I'll just try to keep my head high right now.
And Randall, you had DJ Moore. Speak about what you saw from him this year anyway, even though he wasn't the guy this time round.
He looked all right.
Yeah, he looked fine. His quarterback had a arm that was not able to throw the ball more than 30 yards down the field. And, it took him a little bit of time to work in. His head coach is one of those older gents, not as progressive. And he had to work his way. He had to beat out the likes of Curtis Samuel and Devin Funchess. But I really like DJ Moore for the future. I think there's a lot of good stuff on the horizon. So,
and Miller, it has to be said, both those guys look good.
I think Miller is the receiver to own in Chicago.
Yeah, it's just the target share that's a concern in Chicago, but we might talk.
Trubisky is the concern, in my opinion.
Yeah. So, do you have any doubts about Cam? Like they say, he's had the shoulder up. Everything's going well. Like as they say, he's ahead of schedule.
I only think they cleaned it out. I don't think they had.
Mate, it's still a procedure.
Oh, I
guess. You're still going in. You're still
right.
making cuts and sticking instruments inside your shoulder that's not meant to be there.
But they're saying he's a go.
Yeah, they're saying he's good. He's ahead of schedule, but everybody's ahead of schedule.
He also kind of came out at the end of the year and called himself out to his fan base, and more so than the surgery. He wrote a letter to the fan base, and that didn't seem like something. Cam Newton seems like the type of guy who doesn't. I don't think he honestly looks at himself in the mirror, and you could tell by the way he shows up to the stadium sometimes.
Dude, he dresses all right, mate.
Dresses better than AB, I tell you.
I didn't say all the time. I said sometimes. Okay, I qualified it, but he if you get a chance, go out and read it. And he just talked about how he wasn't carrying himself the way he thinks he should. He didn't handle things in the past the way he thinks he should. So, I'm hoping he's going to come into the 2019 season a changed man and a much more physically capable, because he's probably going to bust his ass this offseason.
Randall, do you think DJ Moore is with the right quarterback?
I never thought he was the right quarterback.
Yep.
And every surgery seems minor until you're the one they're cutting on. I've never been a huge fan of Cam, but I am a huge fan. Not a huge fan, but I like the track record of his offensive coordinator, Norv Turner. He's made a lot of wide receiver ones back, going back 27 years to Michael Irvin. I mentioned that one, the first one that we cut back this past summer, at least summer here in the States. That he's got a terrific track record. Vincent Jackson, Michael Irvin. There was a guy out of Washington. He will pepper this guy with targets. He's a growing guy. So if you don't have him in a dynasty league and you can still get him for about the first round pick, that was his cost last year. I think it'll be worth it. These rookie wide receivers. I mean, not every class is that 2014 class where you got Odell Beckham. These guys that just pop as rookies. Sometimes these guys, it used to be. Back in my day, it used to be the third year window or the third year, leap for wide receivers. So he's still a young man. So I like DJ quite a bit. No, Cam doesn't bother me. He's not the best quarterback, but he's certainly not the worst.
Okay, so let's move to the other side of the ball with the defensive rookie of the year. And, mate, with 3 of us out of the 4 had the same guy. So outside of Schepps, who had Shaq Griffin, Randers, AJ and myself, we all had Derwin James, which is not a bad pick. It's a very good pick. Very happy to have him in the 2 Legit League just quietly.
Yeah.
But the winner overall was Darius Leonard, come out of the Colts, Randers Colts. 163 total tackles.
Incredible.
Unbelievable. 4 forced fumbles, 2 interceptions, 2 forced recoveries, and 7 sacks. Mate, what a fantastic year. And being a Colts fan, Randers, mate, you'd have to be absolutely stoked, wouldn't you?
I am, and I picked Derwin James, too, before the season, and I saw some hate on Twitter, which that's what Twitter's there for. I saw some hate on Twitter that, Derwin James got robbed. And I'm like, you can't name one statistical category where he was ahead of Darius Leonard. He had more interceptions. He had one less interception. I take that back. He had more sacks. He had more tackles. He had everything.
What about games played?
That may be, I think Leonard played 14 and a half. He left part of one game and then missed the full game against the Jets. So let that comprehend. He had 160 some tackles, and he could have had
and the media wanted Darius Leonard to win it so bad. They wanted to poo-poo what Leighton Vander Esch did.
Here we go, Cowboys. Oh, poor Cowboys.
But you know what? It's worth mentioning. We don't often have rookie linebacker classes like this. So we had Vander Esch, Darius Leonard, Roquan Smith, Tremaine Edmonds, Fred Warner. Who else am I missing that had a positive impact? Like, you often will get one or two linebackers that'll kind of pop. This linebacker class was incredible.
Yeah, and like I said, I was so wrong. I thought I didn't want the Cowboys to draft Vander Esch. I thought that he had only played 1 year college ball. He played 7-man football in high school. I thought the kid was going to take time to develop, and that's why I'm not a professional scout.
Okay, G, keep it rolling.
Okay, so then we move.
So what's the score now? What do we got?
We have updated score. We have Randers on 2, Schepps on 2, AJ on 2, and my good self on 2. So it's all tied up.
We're not doing very well.
No, we're not doing well at all. But, mate, when you think the class is pretty big. So, 2 from how many have we had so far?
Our picks weren't bad.
They're not that bad.
No.
Bloody hell. Not at all. We haven't picked absolute stinkers.
No.
Okay, so the offensive player of the year. So Randers had Aaron Rodgers, Schepps had Zeke, AJ had Zeke, and I also had Aaron Rodgers along with Randers. But overall, it went to Patrick Mahomes. 5,097 yards, 50 TDs. This is just seasonal numbers. 12 interceptions, rating of 113.8. I love Mahomes, but I'd never had him down as an offensive player of the year. So, guys, how'd you see about your picks?
I mean, I picked it pretty well, but he wasn't Patrick Mahomes. I mean,
Zeke's a good
when you go
pick.
against that,
Yeah.
It is what it is. Patrick Mahomes deserved it, no doubt.
Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers didn't have his worst season ever, but he tweaked a knee that very first game of the year, and he didn't look right the rest of the season. So that I heard on another podcast or radio show or something in the car the other day that he was able to get away with some of those throws that he was able to make as a younger man, but as his body's breaking down,
Right.
and he can't get away with the poor mechanics like he used to. It's like part of the reason why Tom Brady can play so late into his career is that he's got like flawless mechanics and takes flawless care of himself. And Aaron Rodgers does not do that. And I thought that was a very, very interesting statement. So when we do the 2019 version of this, I will not be going Aaron Rodgers again.
When he did his knee too, Randers, I was watching that game, and you could see straight like the next 4 or 5 throws, you knew that the gig was up. You could really see it. Like, didn't move, just threw it. I don't even think he dropped back. I think he just pretty much took the snap and threw the ball for the next half a dozen throws. I thought, here we go. He's done it again. So anyway, we'll move on to defensive player. Mm-hmm. And Randers had Von Miller. Schepps had Joey Bosa, which made AJ happy. Well, it actually didn't make AJ happy, did it?
No.
Have you actually, before we go any further...
Have I come out?
Yeah, have you come out?
I haven't come out.
Okay. Maybe we should do it now. Now that
it now?
No, now with Joey Bosa's name come up.
Mid-segment?
Yeah, mid-segment. Come on.
Oh, how do I do this?
I don't know,
I'm
mate.
among
It's
friends.
terrible.
I know you all care and love me very much.
I think it's a disgrace.
No, it's not a disgrace.
It is. It's a disgrace.
How is it a disgrace?
And I'll tell you how disgraceful it is, guys, before he actually mentions it. I think you know what he's going to get to. But his wife, when we spoke about this about a month ago,
right,
actually berated him in front of me for doing what he's done. Didn't you remember it in the hallway?
She did. She said, you did what? No,
and
when I jumped.
You.
Originally, when I jumped.
And when you came back, she couldn't believe it.
No, she didn't berate me for coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm back on the Chargers, boys. So I Can't do it. In my heart, I couldn't keep up the charade.
It has
So
nothing.
you did it, huh? Last year I kind of called you out. I thought you were going to go back.
Yeah,
you can't leave.
You
And
can't
did.
leave.
I'm glad you did.
As much as I tried to, you know what? You
Especially since
can't.
The team is good. Like,
Yeah.
the team's good now.
That's why he's
Well,
back.
no, that's
and
not
the
the-
Raiders suck.
But that's okay. But that's okay. I'm with you. I appreciate it. Go back to the team that you love.
And you know what doesn't help is when, because Dean Spanos is the one I was like ultimately
that's true.
cross at,
Yeah.
not the players,
No.
or the GM. Tom Telesco's a fantastic GM. And when the Chargers go into the draft and like pick up Derwin James, and you're like, man, that's a bloody good pick. And then the Raiders just pick, it's a shit show.
But
and then
But it had nothing to do with that, though. It's the fact that he just upped the whole team and said, screw you, San Diego, which is more
Yes.
the reason. That's why
Correct.
you follow the Chargers, because
yeah,
you love San Diego.
correct. Yeah,
So,
correct.
so they move to the LA.
Now I'm swallowing.
And now
it,
the
but-
Raiders, and just happened that they suck, so it made it a lot easier to come back, didn't it?
Well, considering
after you
that
bought
my two favourite
after you
players,
bought a Raiders jersey of
It just-
who?
my two favourite players are tossed to the curb: Amari Cooper, Khalil Mack. And John Gruden is, man, that whole thing is a shit show.
Randers, you're a man of level tones. What do you think
Yes.
of AJ's move?
What, switching from the Raiders to the Chargers?
He
or-
went from the Chargers to the Raiders, and then they sucked, and now he's going back to the Chargers because they're good.
No, not because they're good. That's not the reason.
I just hear that song, "Baby, Come Back."
Shep, that's
It'll be good this time.
So yeah, it's,
You can blame it all on me. I was wrong. And I just can't live without you.
Oh, Chefs.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was for you guys.
Thank
That was
you.
for you guys.
That's nice. All right, we
You
better
can save that if you want.
you're where you need to be.
Keep it rolling.
Panties somewhere out there. Panties are dropping.
Not mine.
So you're admitting that you wear panties?
No, I do not. No.
Maybe.
I'm
Maybe.
technically freeballing right now because I've got the
don't
bike
think
shorts
so,
on.
no.
No, because
All right.
I've got the bike
let's
shorts
move on. So
You can't.
let's get back to defensive players. Talk about defense. Put those things away. Okay, so as we said, Randy had Von Miller, Schepps had Joey Bosa, and then we went down the wormhole. AJ had...
It's kind of disappointing me too, man.
Who's that?
Play football. Bosa.
Yeah.
Get on the field. Play football.
Yep.
That went on far too long.
Yep.
Yep.
AJ had Miles Garrett.
Close.
And I had Aaron Donald back to back. So,
Yeah.
and mate, obviously the defensive player of the year was Aaron Donald. 59 tackles, 18 assists, and 20.5 sacks.
Garrett had a good year, just quietly.
He did have a good
Second
year.
half especially. But anyway, yeah, Donald, I can't go past.
So Randers
Hey,
just...
can I ask you a question? I'm sorry. I know this might get us a little sidetracked, but does the Joey Bosa stuff make you nervous at all about his little brother?
No.
Well, it does.
Not at all?
Well, when there's a lot of comparables.
Like mentally, I feel like they got the same attitude. Like, I don't know.
I know.
I, we'll
but
get to
When
this
they're off the
another
field,
day.
they're off. When they're on the field, they're unstoppable, and when they're off the field,
They're
they're off for a bit longer than.
yes.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Randers, how do you feel about Von Miller? Your pick.
Not only did I miss that pick, but he might not even be in Denver next year. There's rumors they could trade him. So no, I thought with Bradley Chubb coming there on the other side to eliminate those double teams, he'd be free to run wild. But that was a team that was never ahead, and that helps the sack guy.
Right.
When you're ahead and playing with a lead in the fourth quarter, those pass rushers are able to pin their ears back and go, and he's able to do that as much. So he still had a good season, just not a great defensive MVP season. And Aaron Darnold just looks unstoppable
Oh
right
my
now.
God,
Yep.
he's a freak of nature.
Yeah.
Like I've heard people comparing this lot of guys coming out, and as people say, you can't compare anybody to Aaron Donald.
No, but Oliver, now I must say, because we were talking about this before we got you guys on, but I was saying I've been watching Oliver and watching, there was a guy who broke down his film side by side with Donald. There's a lot of technique. I don't know if Oliver has specifically been, and why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you look at the best player in the game? because he
Right.
does a lot of stuff very similar technique-wise to Donald.
Well, we listen to Randers, and we'll start more listening to Schepps now. But we listen to Randers because he's the best in the game. We try to learn stuff, aren't we?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Randy's the
Is
best.
he still there?
Did he duck out for a monster?
I don't know. You might have just blew him away.
It's holding in
come
there.
back?
I got that. I'm having a rolling brownout over here, intermittent. So
Okay.
You got a rolling brown out.
if you
AJ's
look-
got his balls out. One big party.
I apologize. So
No, all good.
All good.
But like you said about Von Miller, I had the same problem. I have some shares in Melvin Ingram, and it's exactly the same. The reason is you have Melvin Ingram is because Joey Bosa's on the other side.
Makes all the difference.
And mate, you look at Melvin Ingram's numbers without Joey Bosa, and they were terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, I just wanted to flog him off. The last, flog him off.
Flog him off?
Yeah, just
You just wanted to what?
Yeah, after everything else we just spoke about, it's probably not the greatest lot of words to put together. But you look at his last 5 games, with Joey Bosa back on the field, and his numbers was, I think he scored more in his llast 5 games than he did for all the
preceding.
Without a doubt. So anyway, we'll keep moving along. And so the next one we have is the league MVP. So Randy had Drew Brees. Schepps had Drew Brees. AJ had Aaron Rodgers. And because I went Aaron Rodgers with my quarterback offensive player of the year pick, I just figure that it's a quarterback award. So if you go with Aaron Rodgers being the offensive player, he's going to win the MVP, but he didn't. But that ended up being also Patrick Mahomes. So that's a zip for everybody. So and
Drew
really
Brees is a nice pick for you guys, though. Pretty close.
Close.
close. What did you guys?
Cigar.
There was a lot of talk between Drew Brees and Patrick Mahomes for the MVP, but just as from my point of view, is when people spoke about Drew Brees, a lot of them spoke about his accomplishments that he got to this year. And that, to me, that's not what the MVP to me is what you do 2018, not what you've done and all of a sudden you become the greatest passer of all time, the most. That's got nothing to do with the MVP. Yeah, that's great that you've reached those heights. And he's a magnificent, Hall of Fame quarterback. But people were basing things on what he'd accomplished this year over his career.
Yes.
Did you guys see it that way, or did you think he was... To me, if you throw 5,000 yards, 50 TDs... And where would Drew Brees end up as quarterback? I think he was maybe made 5th or 6th quarterback overall for the year. How did you guys see it?
I looked at it strictly on the year. I didn't take any into account what he broke this year. I just what he was able to do with that roster. I mean, it's a phenomenal roster, but that's all I looked at.
Okay, cool.
I thought it was clearly Mahomes.
Yep.
So
Randy,
obviously
how'd
I
you
had
say?
a little bit of my heart for Zeke because he carried our offense, but it was clearly Mahomes.
Who's he play for?
Yeah, it wasn't a lifetime achievement award.
Yes.
No.
Patrick
No.
Mahomes, but you want to talk value, and this is straight homer.
Yep.
I think it's Andrew Luck. You took a team that was 3-13 the year before, didn't change the roster that much. And
Yeah, Darius Leonard and Anthony Walker.
And Quentin Nelson. But Anthony Walker was there the year before. That was Anthony Walker's second year. But it just goes to show you the value of the quarterback. But no, you can't take anything away from Mahomes. He was the best player on the best team.
But hang on, Randers. See, this is the thing about this award that is just all kind of out of whack. Quentin Nelson, man, tell me he couldn't be, honestly, an MVP candidate.
He was an all-pro as a rookie, which is good. I think he was the steal of the draft. I mean, he was arguably the best. I won't say he was the best player. He was the safest player in the draft.
Yes,
there was zero bustability in that kid. And but you know what? The Colts will be fine. Andrew Luck will get his day. This is a team that's got, I think, 9 draft picks. They might have a compensatory pick or 2 in there, and they've got $100 million in cap space. And they're going to steal DeMarcus Lawrence from John Shep's Cowboys. So I'm feeling really good about that.
As long as you trade 2 first-round picks after we franchise them, that's fine.
No, that's going to be the worst because the Cowboys actually have cap space for once.
I'll have to toot my own horn with Quentin Nelson. I went to bat for that dude, calling him a top 5 pick all throughout the draft. I forget who the dude is from DFF, but I argued with him night and day. He had such a stupid argument as to why he couldn't be picked in the top 5. If you could tell me the dude's going to be an All-Pro before you draft him, you take him. I don't care what position he plays.
Doesn't matter.
You could tell me he's going to be an All-Pro. You take him top 5. None of this nonsense of, he's a guard. Yes, he's going to protect your quarterback. He's going to be the best at it. Draft him. It was so evident. He was above and beyond anybody else in the class last year.
And there's this funny sort of, I don't know if it's like a fantasy type crossover. I don't know when people will say, oh, he's really a late first pick. Well, you've got one first round pick. So you pick your guy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you're picking him, people will say, oh, you picked him too early. It's not like you've got a damn choice.
Right.
Right.
If you believe in him, you take him.
Right.
If the draft got redone today, I think he's still a top 5 pick.
Oh,
even
yes.
knowing
My word.
I think it would probably go regardless of the team on the clock. I mean, quarterback need withstanding. I think it still goes, some combination in whatever order. Baker, Barkley, Darnold.
Barkley.
I'm
Really?
saying what order? He's not saying.
Oh, sorry.
He's just listing names.
But the top 5 would still be Baker, Darnold, Barkley, Nelson, and maybe Darius Leonard or Derwin
James. Yeah.
That would be my top 5. And like I said, you could flip a coin. Depends on your team need. If you need a safety.
Give me the linebacker. Safety.
They're, especially with the safety class that's free agents this year. So, but anyway, undervalued pick.
And you know what, Randy, as well? If you're an NFL GM and you talk about making a safe pick, if you could go into the draft every year and hit on your first round pick, you'd be in the Super Bowl every year, just about. You'd have a championship team in no time.
I know you guys don't play baseball there in Australia, but just go up there and hit doubles every single time. Just hit a nice solid double. It's a baseball reference. And you know what? You don't go up there. If you never strike out, you may not never hit a home run. But if you're always putting the ball in play and you're always going to be above average, I'll take it every time.
Yeah, mate, I struggled to get to first base. I really did.
No, we're talking about football. We're not talking about baseball.
I was talking about football.
Yeah.
But going back to the very first statement you made, Rand, is about value. Like, if you have a look at Andrew Luck's numbers, I think he was maybe, what was he, Rand? It's maybe 45, I'm just guessing, 45 touchdowns, maybe 4,700 yardage, sort of in those numbers.
About all the
and where you picked him up, though, is like in fantasy compared, to... Well, you can't compare him to Mahomes, but to everybody else.
Doubt around him last year, so much. I don't think that's being talked about enough. I would think at least 60% of Dynasty Twitter gave up on Andrew Luck. Yeah. At least. I think I'm undershooting saying 60%.
And I got him as my QB2 in about every Superflex league that I'm in.
Nice.
You guys agree? Would you agree?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Everybody wrote him off for dead. And even when he was coming back and throwing, well, he's not throwing a real football. He's throwing an under.
It was scary. It was scary. It was so hard. We're not doctors. It was such an odd situation.
I believe. I believed. I kept my shares in Andrew Luck.
He had 4,600 yards and 39.
I couldn't trade him away. Sorry, what was that?
So I said he had 4,640.
There you go.
Basically. Nice. Yeah.
But my question is, where do you put Luck on? I know obviously Mahomes is everybody's QB1 in a super flex.
Two.
Who's your QB?
Two. Number two.
You put him 2.
Yep. Hell yeah.
Holy shit.
Well, you tell me. You tell me. Randers, does it make you happy? Give you a bit of
It does.
Bit of wood.
If he can do that with T.Y. Hilton and a bunch of guys up driving delivery trucks next year, wait until they get him some talent. I'm hoping they get Golden Tate in free agency and one of those big receivers in the draft, like with that jet. Because me
and Pete Lawrence were just talking on the Trifocal Football podcast about N'Keal Harry, and we said
shameless.
Harry would work.
Oh man, put him over there with Andrew Luck.
But Andrew Luck, he really likes the tight end. I mean, he's got a career.
I like a tight end too, Randers. To be honest.
All right, we're way off. We're off the tangent. See what I've done? What have you done?
No, that's good though. Okay, before we move on, AJ. Okay, I'd have him as, mate. I'd probably Patrick Mahomes is going to go, and he's going to go too early for my liking. So I'm more than happy if the second quarterback sitting there is Andrew Luck for me. AJ, next year when you have to, just say we're doing redraft.
Yeah.
So for next year, who are you grabbing? Who's your number 2? Mahomes is number 1.
Maybe it's... Ooh, gee, you put him on the spot. Maybe it's Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson. Randers?
My number 2 is Luck. I mean, he was the number 2 this. Well, I guess Matt Ryan, but I don't trust Matt Ryan to repeat it. But I think Matt Ryan will be sneakily in redraft. Is that a word?
Yes.
He'll be the most sneaky valued quarterback in all of fantasy next year. He'll be a late round guy. That's been top 5 2 of the last 3 years, and his new offensive coordinator is his old offensive coordinator,
Yes.
And he averaged 4,500 yards a season with Cotter as the OC.
Yep.
You still got Julio. They added Calvin Ridley. I like Austin Hooper to take another step forward, and I think they're going to add another running back. So that's an offense that's consistently good, and Matt Ryan's going to be your biggest value. But my number 2 is still Andrew Luck. My number 3. As much as I hate to say it, it'd be hard to go against Aaron Rodgers. Although
that's my 2.
That's
it's got to be my 2. I can't. I mean, I can't. I drafted him last year and he killed me. I was the number 1 team overall throughout the whole season, and then Rodgers and Cam Newton decided to shit the bed, and I can't win a playoff game.
I'm going to give
the championship
to Luck for me just because of Rodgers in the outdoor games. I know you can still have good games outside, but Andrew Luck plays all those games in a dome, so by a hair.
How about Goff? You guys selling or buying Goff?
I'm off.
Buying.
I'm selling.
Is McVay still the coach?
Yeah, but I feel like Belichick kind of just undressed the kid.
Yeah, but he's been doing that to quarterbacks going back 20 years.
It's no shame. There's no shame in that.
And how has it worked? I mean, I guess we got to go look back at the data, but have they managed to come back from it? Or, I mean, I think the kid, I think he's another guy who's mentally soft.
He lost his whoopee. He lost his whoopee in Cooper Cup. He'll get his boo back, and he'll be fine.
What's a whoopee?
I don't
it's
know.
It's like an American term for your binky, your blankie.
I don't know what they're saying.
They're weird, mate. They're
Gee,
weird.
do you
over
understand what's going on?
Mate, don't worry about building the wall to keep people out. Build the goddamn wall to keep them in.
That's right.
All right, now the next 2 categories that we have, we're going to have to self-judge. Self-judge ourselves, which is a double entendre, isn't it?
We can vote on who wins.
Okay, we're going to vote on who wins. Okay, so we had our breakout, because there is no breakout, category. Right. The NFL decides.
Yes.
Okay, so this is what we've got. We had the breakout Randers. Randers had Corey Davis, 65 catches. Sorry?
Randers, Tyler Lockett. I re-listened to this episode.
Well, I've got Corey Davis written down here, dude.
Oh no! Get that bum out of here. I had Tyler Lockett.
Ooh, I don't know if we could.
Now.
Ooh,
controversial.
Pause the show. Go listen to it.
We'll come back. We'll see you next week.
I had Mr. Lockett, Hot Lockett.
Ooh, AJ, this is your show.
What do you mean it's my show?
I'm just here for my looks.
What are you talking about? Well, look, if Randers says Lockett, cross Corey Davis out, put Lockett in there.
I don't know if we can trust Randers.
that wasn't even my hottest take. My hottest take was coming up about Cleveland. Do you have that one written down?
No, I actually don't have the hot takes.
Really?
No.
I, on your beautiful, the best damn football podcast in Australia, I said that Cleveland was going to go 8-8 and finish second in the division, and they went 7-8-1 and finished third in the division. It's pretty good, though.
That's good. No, that's good.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so what do we do? Do we? Okay, we'll put Tyler Lockett in there. I don't have Tyler Lockett's stats in front of me because I have Corey Davis's who Randers gave to us when we did this. But we'll go Tyler Lockett. All right, so we got Tyler Lockett for Randers.
Yep.
For Schepps, Mr. Schepps, we have Jalen Smith, who had 121 tackles, 39 assists, and 4 sacks.
Pretty handy.
Very handy. AJ had Trey Burton, who had 54 catches, 569 yards, 6 TDs.
Cross me out.
I thought that they might actually work out how to use this guy. And look, I'm going to talk him up, compared to how he's been used since he got into the NFL, Mate, he had a cracking year,
Who's that?
and that's Cordero Patterson. 21 catches. I don't know how many. I should have looked at his
so
rushing
it's between
yards.
two.
Oh.
It's
So we're
between
just going
two.
to say that Cordero Patterson's out? See if
Correct.
someone actually
He's
worked
out.
out how to use him?
Well, yeah, but still.
Not enough.
No.
Not enough. Okay, so it's between Jalen Smith and Tyler Lockett,
Okay.
a.k.a.
Now,
Corey
hang
Davis.
on. Don't. Randy said his computer's crashed.
Okay, that's
So-
all right. So we'll go... Can Schepps actually vote for himself?
Well, how about if we vote as the people who are eliminated?
Okay.
All right.
All right.
See. We'll see if we can come to a consensus.
Man, I'm going to upset somebody here.
You will upset one of them, of course, but
To be honest, I'm going to go. I'm going to go with Jalen Smith.
me too.
Oh, there you go, Schepps. Bang,
Right,
one.
2 points. Back on top, baby.
No, you get 1 point.
1
You
point.
get the win. You don't get a point for each vote.
All right, well, I tried.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. But he did, mate. Look,
Yeah.
with the whole with the surgery he had and the injury he had, and they had said he had the drop foot and everything that came with that, and it wasn't moving. Mate, he really came on, hasn't he? Is he as good as what you thought he was going to be before the injury? Has he got back to that, or he's really moving in that direction?
That hit on Alvin Kamara that he laid, it was like the hit heard around the world. Like, it was kind of like a helmet-to-helmet contact. He just dropped him dead in his tracks. That hit, like, that's when I knew. Because it was the finishing. He was getting there. He was starting to get there. But the follow-through, the drive through the leg, that kind of wasn't there. And then this year, the drive-through at the end, that showed me, like, the pop. You know? Like, not just running there, the pop. That hit. That showed me he's a dude.
Yeah, he was able to get the power through the foot and the legs and all that now to run through guys where he was
and it looked effortless.
Yeah, and before he was sort of just getting there and wrapping them up and dragging them down more than anything because
Right.
he didn't have that power.
Right.
Yeah. No, that's good. So there you go, Shep. So you've I think you might have got your 2 points at the very beginning and you've just gone quiet in the middle games and now you've come good at the end. So
Yeah.
Just trying to hit doubles. I'm just trying to hit doubles.
Okay, so at the moment, with 1 round to go, we have Randers on 2, Schepps on 3, AJ on 2, and my good self on 3 as well. So it's come down to you and me, Schepps, and this is going to be a big one. This is the fall-off play, and this is going to be tough because I don't think we got anybody really right here. So Randers had Adam Thielen. So 113 catches, 1,373 yards, and 9 TDs.
That's not much of a fall off.
That's not much of a probably his best season. Schepps, you had Deshaun Watson. So he threw for 4,165 yards, 26 TDs,
Terrible.
and 9 interceptions. So probably he's on the...
I truly believed that, too. What
You
the hell was
did, mate. I remember when you picked him, he's just going to absolutely the cliff for running backs at the age of 30 is pretty much going to be the same cliff that Deshaun Watson's going off this year.
Man, that was a bad call.
It was more
if
like
one of you guys. I'm sorry. If one of you guys is in front of your Twitter handle, I just sent you a video of that hit.
Oh, okay, cool.
Sorry.
So I remember when you were talking about the whole Deshaun Watson thing,
so
I was remembering that scene from 300 where they push all the the Persians off the cliff. That's what I saw. Deshaun Watson as one of those Persians. The way you were talking about
I
him.
kicked him off.
That's right.
Good for him, though. Good for him.
Yeah,
He
great.
He didn't fall off the cliff.
No. Look, we don't want guys like that to, just sort of go backwards, do we? Because,
No.
we want these young quarterbacks, because of the age of a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL, we want these young guys to be good because having a young crop of quarterbacks, at least under the age of, 30, 20, 30, and if we can spread them out amongst the teams, it just makes watching football and enjoying football a hell of a lot better. So, AJ had Kareem Hunt. So in the 11 games that he was allowed to play, that he did play, he had 181 carries for 824 yards, 7 TDs, and he ran at 4.6 yards a carry.
Okay.
Very good. Receptions.
He got suspended. I think that's the winner right there.
Yeah.
I think that.
receptions, he had 26, 378, 7 TDs. So in total, he had 1,202 yards from scrimmage and 14 TDs in 11 games. So, geez, imagine what his numbers could have been. Mate, seriously. He could have been, with another 7 games, he could have easily been, he would have been over 2,000 yards probably, all-purpose yards.
Right.
And he could have easily, and 20 TDs.
Yep.
Unfortunately, he did what he did. Yeah, so we'll get
Hell of a fall-off.
It's a hell of a fall. And I had Zach Ertz. So he had 116 catches for 1,163 yards and 8 TDs. So he was what he was last year.
I don't feel as bad anymore.
So it's got to be Hunt.
It's Hunt,
hasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look, I'll give it to Hunt.
He literally fell off. He was gone. Boom.
Yeah.
But is it... Can you put the off-field thing as...
Well...
Is this based... We should have put down tighter parameters around this. Can it be based on what you did on the ground?
I think that should count. Like, he fell off. Like, he's gone. He was completely gone.
Well, I mean, if someone got injured, you'd count them, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would.
So,
exactly.
Same.
Okay.
All right.
So,
Same.
Randers, how'd you feel about your Adam Thielen pick?
He's not bad.
I agree with you.
Well, I felt it was great.
Mate, you got to talk.
Well, you all, I thought.
Mate, he's going to... Don't. No. It sounds like you're mocking him now.
No, I know.
It's not good. Unfortunately, we've lost Randers. I knew that before I threw it to him, but he obviously didn't have anything to say about Adam Thielen because he probably, he's probably upset
He's
about the title.
Ooga chaka, ooga chaka, ooga.
He probably
hooked on a feeling.
You can take us out today when we finish up here. Some song that takes us out. So that's it. All the categories are done. So the point tally is we have Randers in last place on 2, Schepps on 3, AJ on 3, and myself on 3. So how does that work?
We've got a 3-way tie.
3-way tie? How do we split it? Can we split it?
Best friends what are we splitting?
I don't know.
Licorice. Oh, you miss out, Schepps, Balak.
Dang it.
Sake.
Look, but I think the winner or the obvious takeaway is that
we have no idea.
We have no idea what's going to happen.
And look, I must admit that the ones that I got right were, like
obvious ones.
Yeah.
No,
Barkley,
but hang on
Aaron
a second.
Donald. Are they obvious? Well, no, they're not obvious at the start of the year because they're up against everybody, offensive, defensively, and in MVP in the entire league. But
can I just say, I reckon most of our calls are actually not bad calls. The most egregious one for Schepps and I might be the Jags, But most of the calls there are pretty decent calls, I reckon.
Oh, mate, all the players...
We all did pretty good with the Saints. I did pretty great with the Saints and the Rams.
That was a great pick. That was really good.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what? They spent all that money in the offseason, so I don't know. It was probably an easy pick.
I think we'll look at the format next year to make it just a little bit tougher.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. Well, anyway, we might as well wrap it up, G.
We are done.
Thank you very much, Schepps. I think we've lost Randers. Randers, are you back? No, I think we have lost him. That's all right.
Fell off.
He fell off. His internet was playing up.
If you picked him to fall off this year, then
Perfect.
So listen, 4 episodes in the can for Trifocal Football. Check it out. The dulcet tones. He might even drop a track or 2. Who knows?
That's right. My new Twitter handle is at Coach Schepps. SCHEPPS at Coach Schepps. I'll be dropping the podcast episodes on there. It's on Podbean right now until AJ fixes my picture for me and I can get on iTunes.
Nice.
Then the Apple product people can catch it. But hopefully I'll be hopping on with you guys here and there too throughout the off season. Now that it's the deadline to get an episode in isn't the same as it was in the season. Hopefully our schedules will work together a little bit better.
Yeah, and listen, we've already had inquiries from people wanting to know when we're following up on the draft circus, Schepps.
Definitely. Well, we should. I wish I would have taken more notes on what we talked about if we made any predictions then or whatnot. But we definitely will. We'll have to do an episode or two.
If only there was a way we could listen to them again.
Randy, apparently, if Randy was involved, we know he'd go back and listen.
I'll be going back and listen after the Corey Davis
Call.
Lockett
Controversy.
Oh, absolute
We'll find
fiasco.
out next episode, won't we?
We will.
That's right.
All right. So,
Okay. Thank you very
Wrap-
much, Schepps. Thanks to Randers from the Dynasty War Zone. You can catch him on Twitter at, I was going to say, oh man, I can't have his Twitter handle in
DFF
front of me.
Memphis.
DFF Memphis. Thank you, Schepps. And obviously Schepps at Coach Schepps and us at Aussie Guys NFL. And anyway, we're going to start. This probably really is like an almost formal wrap for
It is. That's like-
2018. That's it.
Clean
dust
the
it off.
dust it off.
Forget about
Finished.
it. Rookie time.
well, jeez. Am I having some sleepless nights at the moment, Sheps?
Rookie time. Nothing better. Nothing better than
No,
rookie time.
enjoying it.
Yeah.
Enjoying it.
Exactly.
Well, we definitely got to do something post combine, and we got to do something pre NFL. Maybe during the NFL draft. Maybe we can do a live stream.
Ooh, that'd be nice. Yeah. We could do that. All right.
Speak to my boss, see if he give me some time off.
Yeah. Yep, sounds good. He's a hard taskmaster, that dude.
prick.
Yeah. But listen, it's a beautiful
Handsome prick, though.
beautiful Sunday afternoon. So let's go Rocket G. So anyway, thanks everybody for listening. Thanks to our guests, as always, honorary Australians, as we said. And we'll be back on the airways real soon. Rookies. So on behalf of G, myself, and Schepps and Randers, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.